Bola. President Bola Tinubu says he is optimistic that the economic reforms of his administration will impact the rest of the continent. President Tinubu stated this during a state dinner hosted by the French government at the Palace des Odyssées in Paris, France, noting that leaders can only move beyond rhetoric and work by creating a continent that truly serves its people. According to him, the time has come for governments to embrace a collaborative and people-centered approach to governance and development, as he asked Nigerian and French citizens to uphold the cordial relationship shared by their nations. President Tinubu also highlighted the historical struggles of France to establish freedom, democracy, and commitment as guiding principles. He acknowledged the warm reception and expressed gratitude for France's demonstrated commitment to Africa, adding that the depth of understanding and engagement exhibited by the French leadership reflected a foresight that is invaluable for fostering stronger partnerships. Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has congratulated Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, a former coordinating minister for the economy and minister of finance, on a unanimous re-election as the Director General of the World Trade Organization. A statement by the presidential spokesman, Bayo Onanuga, stated that President Tinubu is confident that Dr. Okonjo-Iweala's continued leadership will strengthen the International Economic Organization's role as a critical pillar of inclusive global economic growth and good governance in the next 4 years. The Nigerian leader noted with delight that our unanimous appointment for his second 4-year term demonstrated the trust and confidence the international community placed in our leadership to advance multilateral trade for sustainable global development. According to the statement, as a committed member of the WTO, ECOWAS, and the African Continental Free Trade Area, Nigeria will continue to support the WTO's mission to foster a fair, inclusive, and equitable multilateral trading system. The renowned development economist and global finance expert made history in 2021 as the first African and first woman to lead the 164-nation member WTO. Osun State Governor Senator Adeleke has approved December 2024 as the implementation date for the new minimum wage of 75,554 naira, earlier approved, with a payment of 1 month arrears to the state public servants. In addition, the sum of 25,000 naira has been approved across board for the pensioners in the state. The signing of the implementation of the new minimum wage has just been completed by the combined team of the state government and the state labor leaders. The Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer, Bank of Industry, Dr. Olashupo Olusi, says federal government has raised the amount small businesses could access on single-digit loans to 5 million naira to ensure the country's inclusive economic growth. Dr. Olusi made the announcement during a town hall sensitization in Lagos on the federal government's grant and loan scheme. The event was organized by the Federal Ministry of Finance in collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investments, the Presidency, Bank of Industry, and other stakeholders. The BO High Boss, who was represented by the Chief Executive Director, MSMEs, BO High, Umaru Shekarao, eulogized President Bola Tinubu for the availability of 200 billion naira Presidential Intervention Fund for micro, small, and medium enterprises. He says 75 billion naira out of the Presidential Conditional Grant and Loan Scheme is targeted at MSMEs, adding that the initiative is expected to create thousands of direct and indirect jobs nationwide. He urged business owners to approach the Bureau High or register online without going through intermediaries to benefit from loans and grants. According to him, over 800,000 Nigerians have benefited, and there is room for including youth, women, and physically challenged, in order to boost the economic development of the country. The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, has kicked against the bill seeking to exempt the police from the contributory pension scheme. The IGP, who spoke while addressing police officers in Abuja, said exiting the scheme will not be of advantage to the police force. Egbeto considered this while reacting to a report that a bill has been passed by the National Assembly for the police to exit the CPS, and it is awaiting presidential assent. He maintained that if the police exit the contributory pension scheme, their pension will be in the hands of politicians, and they will be the ones to address their fate, as it will be subject to budgetary allocation every year. He disclosed that what he is rather working on is a situation where police officers upon retirement receive their final salary as monthly pension. And moving on to sport. The Super Falcons of Nigeria will seek their maiden victory over France's Les Blues when both teams clash in an international friendly today at the Stade Raymond Copa, Angers, France. For the Falcons, the match represents an opportunity to continue the rebuilding process under interim head coach Justice Madugu, who has been tasked with crafting a squad capable of reclaiming continental glory. Fresh from a commanding performance in their recent double-header against Algeria, where they secured 2-0 and 4-1 victories, Madugu's charges will aim to build on their momentum. A win in Angers would not only mark an historic first for Nigeria over France, but also boost the team's confidence ahead of WAFCON. The encounter, scheduled to kick off at 9:30 p.m. local time, serves as a critical test for both teams as they prepare for major tournaments. While on the foreign scene, Chadian government has announced that it is ending its defense cooperation agreement with former colonial power France, a move that will require French soldiers to leave the Central African country. The announcement was made by the country's foreign minister, Abdurrahman Kumala, after a visit by French Foreign Minister Jean-Noël Barrot, calling France an essential partner, but it must also consider Chad as a sovereign state. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs said the decision to terminate the deal, which was revised in 2019, would enable the country to redefine its strategic partnerships. Chad has cooperated closely with Western nations' military force in the past, but has moved closer to Russia in recent years. It was learned that France has about 1,000 soldiers as well as warplanes stationed in Chad, which is the last Sahel country to host French troops. France has been forced to pull its troops out of Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso over the last 2 years following military coup. Still on the foreign scene, Hezbollah Secretary General Naim Qassem says he will work with the Lebanese army to enforce the ceasefire the group agreed with Israel, as the shaky truce likely held on its third day after more than a year of fighting. In his first televised address since the truce went into effect, the Hezbollah leader said that he did not envision problems or disagreements with the army, which under the terms of the deal will deploy to southern Lebanon over 60 days as Hezbollah fighters and Israeli forces withdraw. Kazem said the coordination between the resistance and the Lebanese army will be at a high level to implement the comments of the agreements to strengthen Lebanon's defensive capacities. According to security officials, the Lebanese army has sent some troops to the south and is preparing a detailed deployment plan to share with Lebanon's cabinet. Meanwhile, both the Lebanese army and Hezbollah have accused Israel of breaching the ceasefire by launching an airstrike north of the Litani River. And that ends the Midday News on OSBC TV. Do join us at 5 for the evening news. Good afternoon.